we got to talk to him because I'd like to know what his pre-ritual is.
Yeah, it's not a criticism. I just can't believe he does it every night.
Why not? He doesn't get paid, right? Does he get paid now? Did he ever get paid?
I don't know. I mean, he's got to get something, right? I mean, maybe they give him free tickets.
Look at this, KD. Look at what we're doing. We are creating stuff for me and you to go and find out. These are the questions Ranger fans they're just going, oh my God, yes.
I never
find
thought
this
of that.
out. Why does Dancing Larry do it? How much does he get paid? Does he have bad nights? What's his routine?
You've got questions. We've got answers.
We've got answers. Hey, the guy I missed, the old man, this goes way back, is the Chief, man. I don't know how many younger Ranger fans even remember the Chief, but the Chief was just this good old soul who used to just romp around the arena, and he'd have his, Indian headdress on, Ranger jersey, and he'd just get everybody going. It was just like, that's back in the day when I used to always go to a lot of games, And again, it was a social thing for us to do too, KD, when we were younger, socializing Ranger games and partaking in alcohol beverages.
The Chief was a little before what was the Chief in the crowd?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm not going to Google. These are things that we're going to bring back next week for the fans. Because I know they're not going to go look for this stuff, but we'll come back. But the Chief was, I see now. This is the thing.
It's a little before my time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if the Chief was around when they won this and if they won the cup or not. I can't remember. I mean, it was definitely pre-94, no doubt. But I don't know if the Chief, because I know he had passed away at some point. I have to find out. But, I mean, that's old school stuff. Look, I mean, back in the day, I mean, geez, the old garden, how brown and orange it was inside. And I used to smoke back in the day. And we used to smoke, back in where the concessions were. You'd go back out there and everybody be out smoking. And, in between periods and everything and stuff. And, geez, those are great times, the blue seats and stuff. And that was a big part of the whole Ranger experience, especially if you're from Long Island, because you bring it up a lot too. Just getting, having a bunch of drinks on the train, going in and having a great time, and just coming up the stairs and into the garden, and just going nuts, not a care in the world. Tickets were affordable back then, and and then Katie, last thing too. Do you remember? You used to be. I used to always be able to move to other sections because back then, the purple seats. If there were purple seats empty, what me and my buddies used to do, we used to sit wherever we were for the first period, and then we'd watch. And if nobody sat in those seats in the first period, we would kind of wander down there and then find our ways, and then we would kind of sit. And we would always move down to the glass. It was amazing. And back then, they didn't chase you out of there. The only way you were getting that bumped out of there if somebody came down with their ticket stub. Obviously, that changed, in recent years, but that was a great memory for me in my 20s. I'm 50 years old now, so, like I said, this is, late 80s, early 90s, and then into the late 90s and stuff like that. But that was something that that was like an art form. We would go in, we'd get our drinks, we'd hang out wherever our seats were, and then we would monitor the whole lower lodge where all the purple seats were, and there used to always be swaths of empty seats, and then we go down there. And back then too, if you wanted to, you could throw a guy $5-10 or whatever, but I don't ever remember being kicked out of there. And I'll tell you one more story about this. Me and my buddy Brian, big Ranger fan out here on Long Island. His name is Foxy. Loves it because Foxy now on the team. But we went in and we did the whole thing. Went down there, sat in, and we sat down next to these guys. It was a dad, his grandfather, and his two kids or whatever. And they were going on about how expensive it was for them to buy the tickets and to come in there and to pay for those seats, buy the glass or whatever. And I'll never forget me and Brian just thinking, we just walked in here. We're sitting in the same, the same section, same seats. And this guy had dropped a ton of money just to be there. And his two, drunk lulas just came down from the blue seats, plopped our asses right next to them. We had a great time with them and everything. We didn't say that we had just came from the blue seats, but it was kind of, It was kind of depressing hearing how much the dad was like reeling on about how much it cost to sit down there. But anyway, that's just a little old time memory for me. Some of the things I used to do when I used to go to the Garden.
Yeah, when we got our season tickets, which was the second year out of the lockout, I think it was the 2005-2006 season, and the tickets we were in section 420, which was at the top. We were the second row from the top. And I think the tickets were like $23, and it was like $24 a game, just to show you how inexpensive it was back then.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so when they made the playoffs that year, you get all your tickets ahead of time before the playoffs start. You have to pay in advance, and then they send you all the tickets, so you have them. And I still remember the first round. So again, it was $24 for our seats. I think the first round was like $28. Like the second round was like $35. The conference finals was $50. And then the Stanley Cup final tickets were $75.
Wow.
Can you imagine? That was 15 years ago. I mean, it's not like that was like 30 years ago.
I know.
It was 15 years ago. And it was $75 for that. Now it would be $750.
Well,
it's insane.
That's what's, and we're again. Thanks everybody for listening. We're going a little long here because we're just having a great time chit chatting and stuff.
We don't want to go back to our families.
We don't want to go back to the families.
We're sick of them.
But that's, to me, just hockey in general across the board. Hockey is number one. It's an expensive sport to play. That's another thing. As far as if you're a mom and dad, hockey mom and dad, and your kids want to play ice time, equipment, all that other stuff, travel, jerseys, my God, insurance, it's ridiculous. But to go to the games, it's expensive, and the beers are expensive, and the food, everything's expensive. And it just blows me away, and we'll just take the Rangers, but seeing the Garden is just jam-packed. And, yeah, in the old days, they used to say, you have all the corporates upstairs in the boxes and everything, and then downstairs. But the Garden's simply not built that way anymore. It's a new seating plan and all that other stuff. But man, it's jam packed, man, and people are just, I don't know, where's everybody getting the money?
Oh yeah, I mean it's you can't, I can't just sit there with my son and be like, hey, you want to go to the game tonight? Let's go to the game. I have to sit there and be like, okay, this is going to cost me like $400, and for the 2 tickets, the train, food. I'm gonna get them souvenirs and whatever, $400 or $500. And okay, hun, how do our expenses look this week? Again, podcast money, not paying for this. So yeah, it's sort of, it definitely stinks. I mean, that you can't just, hey son, you want to go to the game tonight? It's supposed to be a big game, and just I got tickets online. They were $30 each. Let's go. You just can't do that. I mean, you can still do that with baseball. You can still find pretty cheap tickets and sit up in the nosebleeds, and that's good. You can't do that for hockey.
And Mets tickets are free, so.
Well, exactly. That's the only good thing about being a Met fan. I can go on the cheap. But I'm not a big basketball fan, so I don't go to basketball games. I'm assuming it's the same with the basketball with the Knicks, despite how dreadful they are. I'm assuming those games are pretty expensive as well.
Absolutely.
And, football, too. My son's a huge football fan, and he wants to go to Giants games.
You'd have to pay me to go to a football game.
Yeah, I mean, I would only take him in, probably September, October, and buddy, when it's still nice out.
Yeah, buddy, that's not because I don't like the sport. Just a live football game is just torture. Because you don't realize how many stoppages are. The commercial, when you're watching at home, it's really a TV game.
Yeah.
But there's no way.
There's not a lot of flow when you're there, for sure.
No, not at all.
And then it takes you 5 hours to get out of the friggin' Meadowlands parking lot afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, just give me a break. Anyway, have fun with that, football fans. Jets and Giants fans, it's just crazy. But anyway, buddy, here we are. The Rangers won't be playing tomorrow night either. And we're running
no
through,
game?
Were
they off?
Yeah, they're off. They're just like everybody else. Nothing to do. That's another thing too, man. It's just,
there's no games tomorrow? That's interesting. That's a scheduling quirk.
Yeah, it is April Fool's, but that's no April Fool's. It's true, buddy. It's crazy, man. I mean, this is the
Actually, yeah, tonight, if they were still playing after tonight's game, there would have only been 2 games left in the season. They would play Pittsburgh tomorrow and Chicago on Saturday. They would end it with Chicago at home.
And I think they would have just had another game with the Flyers, correct?
No. You're way off.
Oh, man. Sorry, dude.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, the schedule's down off the NHL app, man.
Close.
That's my go-to thing. I'd have my NHL app here, anything I needed, little clips, videos, game summary stats, time on ice, boom, right here on the phone, clickety-clack, boom, 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 boom.
And apparently there's fantasy schedules on there, too.
Really?
Because there's no Flyers game. Actually, the other Flyer game was the one that they played the week before they shut it down. When they lost.
Bad memories. You're bringing up bad memories, the Flyers.
Sorry, man.
It's bad stuff. But,
I think, looking at this schedule, they'd probably be undefeated from the point of when, they lost to Colorado there. They definitely would have went undefeated.
And that was Zibanejad's fault, too. He didn't score on a breakaway, didn't score on a shorthander. I mean, he was killing the team, actually.
He's terrible. They should probably trade
him. Oh, man. Mika. Oh, Tammy. Man, it's weird. Isn't it weird? It's very weird. It's weird. But hey, man, we're doing this. We're having some fun. We're reminiscing, and God bless each and every one of you out there that have downloaded this episode and hung with us and listened to all this back and forth.
You must be real bored.
Yes, we totally understand.
Actually, I've enjoyed it. Paulie, I think this is probably one of the best episodes we've had.
Hey, look, man, this is what we're going to... Look, everybody knows this is all off the cuff. I mean, I guess, the fact that we're old allows us to kind of reminisce back a little bit, and touch on some memories and stuff like that. I mean,
Paulie, all our episodes are off the cuff. It's not like we do any research here.
Oh, come on, man.
It's not like we do some prep work. There's no prep work involved here. It's, hey, what do you want to talk about tonight? Rangers? Okay, yeah.
No, we go through, we actually do a run-through show first, and then we break, then we set up a transcript, and before the transcript, we do video chat. We were doing Zoom stuff before everybody else was doing Zoom stuff. So,
that's right.
Come on. But, hey, KD, look, I really think you should start a TikTok account. I think you should start something, man. Replace Dancing Larry, and just get out there. And you only need one song. All you gotta do is do some different moves, man. I want to see it. I want to see KD taking Dancing Larry on head on. Is that what's the term? Head to head, 1-on-1 on TikTok. Let's make it happen, KD.
How great would it be, like, if one night they see Dancing Larry up on the jumbotron, and I just push him out of the way, push him down the stairs, and bust out my own moves? You think they throw me out?
No, my perfect vision of that would be Larry officially passing the torch to you, and then making a big night out of it, and then have like a VH1 behind the music kind of episode. And Larry, why Kevin DeLury? Why him?
I'm telling you, that is like, to me, that's like a prison sentence. I would not want to do that. Like, there's no chance you would ever get me doing that. I don't care how many free tickets, how many free hot dogs, how many free beers.
Come on.
Maybe if they would give me free White Claws, maybe. But no.
Come on, buddy.
How old is Dancing Larry these days? He's got to be.
Come on. Now,
right?
Now we really have to get into the Google here. Come on.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm 43, and I just, I talk about how expensive the tickets are. I think even if they were cheap, I don't know how motivated I'd be to get my ass off the couch to, like, get on that train and get in and take that train home. Ugh.
Come on, KD. I would
do it. But
I think the fans would really appreciate it if you did it.
Yeah,
come on, please.
I mean, I'll do the one night thing where I push him down the stairs and do a dance.